Welcome to Global Hub Updates. Subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon for more updates. On July 5, 2025, Malacanang Palace was charged with anticipation. The air was thick with expectation as dawn broke over Manila, casting a golden hue on the historic halls, where decisions of national consequence are made. The President of the Philippines, flanked by the nation's top military commanders and key diplomatic figures, stepped forward to unveil a new map. This was not just any map, but the official maritime chart of the Republic, a document years in the making, shaped by legal battles and national resolve. This map boldly outlined the Philippines' 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone, a vast expanse of sea, now officially renamed the West Philippine Sea. The new chart was more than lines and labels. It was a statement of sovereignty, a visual declaration of the nation's rightful maritime boundaries. It was a direct challenge to decades of Chinese encroachment, a declaration in ink and law. For years the Philippines had protested quietly, but this act transformed protest into policy, and policy into a public stand. Every island, reef, and shoal was named and claimed under international law, from the resource-rich Reed Bank to the fiercely contested shoals like Scarborough and Mischief. The map left no ambiguity. Each feature was marked as Philippine territory, backed by the 2016 Hague ruling. The event was broadcast live across the nation, with millions of Filipinos glued to their screens. It was a moment of unity, signaling to the world that the Philippines would no longer be passive or silent in the face of intimidation. The message was clear. The nation was drawing a line, not with warships or threats, but with the authority of a legal, internationally recognized map. This was a new kind of defense, one rooted in law and diplomacy. For years, Filipinos had watched their fishermen harassed, their livelihoods threatened, and their resources blocked by Chinese vessels patrolling the disputed waters. The new map was a promise to protect those who depend on the sea for survival. This map was a pivot from quiet protest to bold assertion, a symbol every citizen could rally behind. Across the country, people took to the streets, waving flags and holding signs, their voices echoing the government's new resolve. News headlines flashed: Manila unveils new map, defies Beijing's claims. The story dominated airwaves and front pages, sparking debate and pride in equal measure. By publishing this map, the Philippines provided a clear legal basis for its claims, inviting global support and challenging other nations to recognize its rights. The move was calculated, strategic, and impossible to ignore. The move forced the world to pay attention and to choose a side. International organizations, foreign governments, and global media all weighed in, as the Philippines' stand became a test of international law and regional stability. The line was drawn and the world was watching. In that moment, the Philippines transformed its struggle into a global issue, and the map became a symbol of hope, defiance, and national pride. In the South China Sea, maps are not just navigational tools, they are weapons, wielded to assert sovereignty and shape the very reality on the ground. Here, lines drawn on paper can spark international disputes, influence public opinion, and even justify military action. The stakes are high, and every map tells a story of power and ambition. China has long wielded its infamous 9-dash line, embedding it in passports, textbooks, and globes to normalize its sweeping claims over vast stretches of the sea. By making this line a fixture in everyday life, China seeks to turn a controversial claim into an accepted fact, both at home and abroad. This campaign is not just about ink on paper, it's about turning those paper claims into concrete realities. Patrols by Coast Guard ships and the construction of artificial islands are physical extensions of the map, transforming disputed waters into zones of control. In response, the Philippines has launched a direct counterattack with its own new map, meticulously grounded in precise coordinates and backed by international law. This map is more than a document, it's a statement of intent and a challenge to China's narrative. By publishing this map, the Philippines rejects China's ambiguous historical claims, offering instead a vision of clarity, transparency, and legal legitimacy. It's a move designed to rally both domestic and international support. The battle of maps is ultimately a struggle for global acceptance. The map that the world chooses to recognize will help shape political reality, influence diplomatic negotiations, and determine whose story is told. China fiercely defends its cartography, understanding that international perception can eventually harden into fact. Every map presented at a conference, every scholarly discussion, is part of a broader campaign to legitimize its claims. Now, the Philippines is playing the same game, using the rules and institutions of the international system to press its case. By engaging in this cartographic contest, it seeks to shift the balance of perception. Publishing the map is a bold act of self-determination, a declaration that Filipinos are the authors of their own territory and the guardians of their national story. In a region dominated by gray zone tactics and ambiguous maneuvers, this clear and public move reframes the narrative, forcing the world to reconsider old assumptions. The fight is not just for territory, but for the nation's story itself, waged on the very paper that defines its borders and its place in the world. In this contest of legitimacy, the map becomes both shield and sword, a powerful symbol and a practical tool in the ongoing struggle for recognition and control. The Philippines' new map is a story of law versus might. China claims the South China Sea based on historic rights, visualized by its ambiguous 9-dash line. In contrast, the Philippines grounds its claim in the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, ratified by over 160 countries, including China. UNCLOS grants a 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone, giving coastal states rights to resources. The Philippine map is a direct application of this principle. China enforces its claims with power, Coast Guard, artificial islands, maritime militia, lacking military might. The Philippines fights in the arena of international law. The map is a public bet that legitimacy and rules can counter brute force. It's a challenge to the idea that might makes right. The Philippines map stands on two pillars, UNCLOS and the 2016 Arbitral Tribunal ruling. UNCLOS, in force since 1994, defines maritime zones and rights, granting a 200 nautical mile EEZ. Frustrated by China's aggression, the Philippines initiated arbitration in 2013. The 2016 Hague ruling was a sweeping victory, invalidating China's 9-dash line and confirming Philippine rights. China rejected the ruling and escalated its activities, defying international law. The new map operationalizes the legal victory, embedding the tribunal's findings into official policy. It forces the world to confront the ruling, respect the law, or yield to China's rejection. The map keeps the 2016 decision alive and central to the South China Sea debate. The new map has become a powerful symbol of Filipino pride and unity, representing a collective stand against external pressures. It is more than just lines on paper. It embodies the spirit and resilience of a nation determined to protect its sovereignty. For years, Filipinos felt powerless, as their fishermen were bullied and territory encroached upon by larger forces. The map serves as a beacon of hope, a promise that their struggles are recognized and their rights defended. The map is a tangible assertion of dignity, a declaration that the Philippines will not be pushed around. It is a bold statement to the world that the nation stands firm in its claims and will not waver. The name West Philippine Sea, now official, reclaims the narrative and deepens national identity. It is a reminder of the rich history and culture that binds the Filipino people together. Schools will teach the new map, ensuring future generations understand their maritime rights. This education is crucial for empowering young Filipinos to continue the legacy of defending their homeland. Public rallies and widespread support have turned the issue into a personal cause for many. It has ignited a sense of patriotism and unity, bringing people from all walks of life together. The map unites a divided nation, inspiring citizens and signaling government resolve. It is a testament to the strength found in unity and the power of a shared vision for the future. It honors the legacy of the 2016 legal victory and commits to upholding it. This victory is a cornerstone of national pride, a reminder of the triumph of justice and perseverance. The map is a rare unifying symbol, reminding Filipinos of their shared heritage and purpose. It is a call to action, urging every citizen to stand together in the face of adversity, celebrating their identity and future. China's reaction was swift and fierce, condemning the map as illegal and provocative. Beijing accused Manila of misleading the world and insisted its claims were indisputable. China will pressure neighbors not to recognize the map, using economic leverage and propaganda. At sea, expect increased Chinese Coast Guard and militia presence, more harassment of Philippine vessels, and military exercises. These actions aim to intimidate Manila and show that maps alone cannot change realities. Yet, China must avoid overt aggression that could trigger the US-Philippines Mutual Defense Treaty. Instead, it will escalate gray zone tactics, blockades, water cannons, and coercion just short of war. The goal: punish defiance without sparking a wider conflict. The Philippines' move has sent shockwaves through Southeast Asia. Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei quietly applaud, as the map strengthens their own legal positions. Yet, economic ties to China force them to tread carefully. Official reactions are muted, but diplomatic calculations are intense. ASEAN's divisions are exposed, making a united front against China elusive. The map could energize a coalition of maritime states, but also deepen rifts within ASEAN. External powers, US, Australia, Japan, Europe, now have stronger legal grounds for freedom of navigation operations. Their support is crucial for Manila, but it also feeds China's narrative of foreign containment. The region is more tense, the stakes higher. The map has redrawn not just borders, but alliances and risks. The South China Sea is about more than lines, it's about resources, security, and survival. Vast oil and gas reserves, especially in Reed Bank, are vital for Philippine energy security. The sea is a global trade artery. Whoever controls it can disrupt trillions in commerce. For coastal communities, it's a source of food and livelihood, now threatened by Chinese harassment and overfishing. The dispute is local, but the economic implications are global. Environmental destruction from island building and overfishing threatens marine life and food security. Regional cooperation is paralyzed by the sovereignty dispute, worsening the crisis. The battle is for the sea's resources and its very survival. The stakes are existential for millions. The Philippines' new map sets the stage for a defining contest: law versus power. Manila bets on international law and a binding arbitral award. China bets on history and strength. The world must now choose: uphold the rules-based order, or let might make right. If China prevails, it sends a chilling message to smaller nations everywhere. The principles of sovereign equality and peaceful dispute resolution are at stake. The next chapter will be written not just in Manila and Beijing, but in capitals worldwide. The choices of other nations will determine the outcome. The lines are drawn, on the map, and in the future of the global order.